Hi, boys and girls. Bonjour à tous. My name is Commander Vincent Beswick-Escanlar, and I am a doctor with the Canadian Armed Forces. I work here in Ottawa. Thank you for inviting me to Remembrance Day ceremony today. I'm sorry I couldn't be there again this time in person, but I wanted to send you this video to tell you a little bit about what I do in the military and why it is so important that we talk about Remembrance Day today. Sometimes people ask me, how can you be a doctor and also be in the military? Because doctors help people be healthy and take care of them when they're sick, but soldiers have to go out and fight people. But the thing is, people in the military don't just fight people. Our job is to keep Canadians safe at home and to help other countries around the world be peaceful and free. Sometimes that does mean fighting people. When I was in Afghanistan and trying to stop terrorists from hurting people, it was very scary because we knew that we might have to defend ourselves if we got attacked. Sometimes that means helping people when they've had a bad disaster, like an earthquake or a flood. When I was flying in a search and rescue helicopter looking for people who were lost or hurt in the ocean, I was so happy to be able to bring them back to their families and help them when they were in trouble. But no matter what it is that we have to do, we do it because we made a promise to make sure you, your family, friends, and neighbors are able to live and grow up in peace and freedom. That promise isn't always easy to keep. Being in the military means a lot of hard work. Often, it means leaving your family, sometimes knowing that you will face great danger. But when I get scared, I remember that other people who love Canada, like you and me, have been doing this for a long, long time. More than 100 years ago, during the First World War, Canadians bravely sailed across the ocean to fight in Europe against those who wanted to destroy freedom and peace. Because they were so brave and worked so hard, they won the war, and nations around the world respected them. Sadly, there are no more soldiers alive who fought in that war, but remembering them means that they will live on in our hearts forever. And when we think of them and what they did for Canada, even when they were scared and hurt, it helps us today when we are also out there and also scared and hurt and doing the same things they did and doing our best for Canada. Our military also fought in the Second World War. Maybe you had a great grandfather or grandmother who was there. My grandfather was also a doctor in that war and helped a lot of people too. My friends and I often think of them too when we're out called to help people today, no matter where they are in the world or how dangerous or scary it might be. The Canadian Armed Forces have always served all around the world. In the 1950s, there was the Korean War. In the 1990s, when I was a kid your age, there was a war in Iraq. And more recently in Afghanistan, where me and my friends worked very hard to keep that country be more peaceful. And in Mali, where soldiers and medical people like me help United Nations peacekeepers try to stop wars from getting worse. So you see that for a very, very long time, people in the military have done their best to make sure you, your friends, and family are safe and free. Think for a minute about what freedoms we Canadians have. Across this country, children like you at Our Lady of Victory play and go to school and live with their families in peace and safety. Not everyone in the world gets to do that. It takes a lot of different people to make our country a good place to live. Your parents do their best to love you and take care of you. Your teachers do their best to make you as smart and as creative as you can be. And each of you here makes a promise to each other to respect and accept each other. And people like me in the military do our best to make sure Canada and the world will be a peaceful and safe place for all of us. That includes helping out here at home when natural disasters strike. These days, as a result of climate change, we're seeing the military called on to help out more and more in situations like these. Like in British Columbia, where severe flooding trapped so many people just like you in their homes and schools who needed to be rescued. And when the COVID-19 pandemic was really bad, my friends helped take care of people who were really sick, like people in long-term care homes or living in places far away from hospitals and places where they could get help on their own. But the work we do these days isn't just here in Canada. Every minute of every day, there are military members working all across the globe to make Canada and the world a safer place to live. For example, before the war started in Ukraine, our military helped train Ukraine's security forces so they were ready to defend their country. Over the 7 years we trained together, we both learned a lot of important skills from each other. And we go to dangerous places to help people when we are needed. Like we went back to Afghanistan last year to help people escape after the democratically elected government fell. My translator was one of the people that was able to get out, and he's now living with his family in Toronto. And I am so happy that he and his wife and kids are now all safe. A life in uniform is very different for every person in the military. We do so many different jobs, from helping disarm explosives, to maintaining all of our aircraft, and conducting search and rescue missions, to taking care of the sick and wounded. And we do this work on sea, on land, or in the air, as members of the Navy, Army, or Air Force. But we're all united by one common purpose, the desire to help others, and to make sure that everyone can live in a world where they are safe and free. It really makes me proud to know I'm making a difference. And I'm so grateful every time someone says how much they appreciate the work that military members do, or when they share their profound respect for our veterans and those who sacrifice so much to make our country what it is today. So I hope if you know a sailor, soldier, or craftsperson, or a veteran, you take the time to thank them for everything they do. Listen to their stories, learn from their experiences, and honor the memories of those who gave their lives to make the world a better place. We will remember them. Nous nous souviendrons. Thank you. Merci.